All right, we're starting this show out now. We got to head down to Hub City West. Our old buddy Justin down there got our Buckbuster seed in. We're gonna get them Buckbuster seed in the ground. When we get that planted, guess what? It's time to take them young Buckbusters to Illinois.
2017, we planning on getting some good bucks in this area. Last year we had trail cam pictures on the coverts in here of some really nice up and coming bucks, and this year we're hoping to see what they turn out to be. Hopefully some big old wall hangers.
Now, this ain't no bad trip for us. We got the old meat wagon loaded down with the guns and all of the adults. Big A has got a whole truckload of kids with him. So he's gonna get a little more excitement than we are on the way up, I think. Well, it's time to roll, son. It's time to make it happen. You ready? You all right? All right, and we headed out on about a 12-hour trip up to Illinois, 10 to 12 hours, according to how everything goes. About 20 or 30 minutes into this trip, we done stopped to eat. He done got too hungry.
Freaking out on
He's freaking out.
I didn't get too hard. Let me help you out, everybody.
You done get too hungry or something?
Let me get your seatbelt.
You done get too hungry or something?
Well, y'all was ready to eat.
Whole freaking crew walking out through here.
We ready to eat stuff.
I'm telling you.
Like everybody.
You got okay.
Now, this is like a 10-hour drive. We're leaving late in the afternoon, so we're gonna be driving all night, and we're thinking, well, we'll be good. These kids will go to sleep. No, sir. No, sir. All three of them stayed up the entire time, all the way to Illinois Extreme.
We went out on the first morning. We didn't see much. We saw a small buck, and that was about it. We could tell this deer was old. His rack was going downhill fast. We woke up early that morning. We got the stand before we could even get sat down. They're already dozed trying to walk by us. So those does hung out where they were, and before too long, we saw two big bodies moving in the brush. Now, as they got closer, we could tell they were decent bucks. So at this point, I'm just trying to get my gun up and get on one of these bucks. And finally this buck stops where I can get a good shot.
You got it. Yeah. You're clear. Yeah. Shooting.
Working Monday to Friday, 8 to 5, giving myself for a better life. Boss man yelling, I ain't doing my job again. One day in my shoes, he changed his mind, getting it done with no overtime. It's a good thing the weekend's almost here. So let's punch the clock, get out of here.
Finally decided to get it done.
It's good. Real good.
That lonesome sound of that steel guitar eases my pain, it heals my heart. I'm gonna rock the show, lay on through the night. Weekend comes, like a fire.
See any blood yet? You got him? Dang, son. Well, we're back up at Illinois Extreme Whitetail for the youth hunt. Glad Trent got to come again, and he's here with his buddies having a good time, and we hunting some good deer up here. And yesterday we had a big old, I don't know, 6 or 7 year old buck come in. His rack was kind of going downhill, so we let him go. Should have shot him, but we didn't. And we moved to a different stand today, and right off the bat we had 3 does come right by the stand within 5 yards of us, and they hung out for a little while. I looked over, coming out of the corn was 2 bucks, and we watched them come down the wood line, and Trent decided he wanted to go ahead and take this one, so we waited till we got a clear shot, and he put a shot on him and made a good hit, and the deer didn't go very far. And we just want to thank Illinois Extreme Whitetail for having us out again, and we're going to see what the rest of these hunters get today. Maybe they'll get a good buck.
All right, now this first hunt or two, you get a 10, 11-year-old kid. I mean, the patience ain't really there. So the first hunt or two, he was getting a little impatient with us, and we hunting some long hours, some long days. But old Little John hung in there with me. We wasn't seeing the most deer in the world or the most shooters, but we knowed it was coming. All right, now we done put in a big day hunting, and Little John done good, but we ain't got a shot yet. We get in the lodge that night, and Anthony's telling us about 2 pretty nice little bucks that they seen. And Little John, he went to punch me. Well, that's where we need to go tomorrow, because Anthony said he wasn't going back there tomorrow. So sure enough, we head to Anthony's stand second day. Now you got to remember there's 3 of us in the stand. We got Big John, Little John, and then me with the camera. So we sat there and we give Little John a pretty hard time. And everything's going pretty good, and about that time the 2 bucks appear. Now when we told Little John that he could shoot either one of these bucks, the excitement picked up. All right, these deer are making their way through the cornfield. They step out, and me and Little John got a different opinion of which one is the best one to shoot. I'm telling Little John which one I think he should shoot. That ain't the one Little John think was the one to shoot. One on this side. What? Is it the one on this side? Which one is it? I think it's the one on this side, ain't it? You didn't even touch him.
Yes, I did.
What, you shot the wrong one then, didn't you?
Oh, no, but I got it.
I wasn't on that one. Oh, and I learned me a lesson there. Just because I think it's the best deer to shoot may not mean everybody does. And because I thought he missed, don't mean he missed. Little John put it on him, made an awesome shot. I'm talking about hit him just right. Deer didn't go 40 yards.
All right, so we're up here on youth hunt in Illinois, at Illinois Extreme Whitetail. At first, we tried this place, but we only saw 5 point. So we asked a friend if we can come to where they're hunting, and they said they were going to go somewhere else anyway. So a couple hours in, we saw a deer start to cross the creek. He crossed the creek, and we didn't see him for a few minutes. So we thought he was going to come back, which he did, and he was walking through some corn stalks, and he kept disappearing. Then he'd show back up, and finally he showed back up in the opening where I could get a good shot. And I got a good shot at him, and here we are.
Little John,
Go.
that other deer was way bigger.
Way bigger. What'd you do that for, Little Joe? Huh?
Why you shoot the wrong deer?
Why, Joe?
Had a better shot at that deer.
A better shot? Yeah, they was about 3 or 4 foot apart. They was. It was a better shot. It was 3 or 4 foot close. No, you shot the furthest.
It was still a better shot because he was just perfectly straight, and the other one had his head on his horn. So if I
Oh, he had his head on his heart.
watch the video.
Oh, watch the video. All I gotta do is watch the video.
Yeah, and you'll see the
So you
photo.
didn't. It didn't matter what I said. You were doing whatever you wanted to, correct?
Well,
Is
if
that
you
right?
would
No,
shoot
is that right?
deer in
Is
the
that right?
head,
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to Waterloo Farms. They're always good to us. Let us come out and film our shows. If you need to book a wedding or any kind of event, give them a call.
Okay, so we're heading up to Illinois. I'm gonna be hunting with Tyler Lowry and his daddy Tony. So the first morning rolls around, we head out way before daylight, get up in the stand, get all settled up. You know, Tyler, he's having a blast. He's looking for deer, playing video games. I even catch him sleeping a few times. First morning was pretty slow. I think that was pretty much the way it was for everybody that first morning. So the wind was actually switching around, switching directions there, and we decided to go to the same property, just a different stand about a half a mile away. So first afternoon looked real promising. A lot of deer. We probably saw 15, 20 different does, a bunch of small bucks, some borderline shooter bucks, just not what Tyler was looking for. So, you know, good first day, good first afternoon. We plan on coming back to the same stand the next morning. Second evening rolls around. This is our last evening to be hunting. So it's coming down to the wire, hoping for something to come through here. The guys have been telling us there's a lot of bucks in this area, so who knows? If something decent comes out, Tyler's got the green light. So we're sitting there, we hadn't seen much, and all of a sudden here comes a buck, just barreling out of the woods through the beans. Come by so fast, Tyler didn't even have time to get on him. I barely got the camera on him, couldn't tell much about him. Knew he was a good looking buck. And so it's getting close to dark, you know, and I'm nervous and stressed out. You know, it's coming down to the wire, and sure enough, I mean, we're losing light fast on the camera, but we see a buck come out of the woods. So we're looking at him through binoculars. I got him on the camera, losing light fast, and I tell Tyler, you know, I was like, this looks like a big mature deer. When you can get on him, take the shot. Finally, the buck eased up on a little hill out in the beans, and Tyler put the hammer down on him. We decided to give this deer 2 or 3 hours before we go and look for him.
Out hunting, sticks and strings. Real South hunting, it's a southern thing. Real South hunting, come and join the chase. 'Cause it's pins and furs and feathers, real South wind. Live lolly pines and hardwood boxes. Us Mississippi boys was raised up to hunt 'em for my uncles and dads and granddads growing up. Remember my first buck seemed like a tough chore, 'cause a fair chase hunt you never promised to score. But when that Boone and Crockett walks out, we lay him on down. I can still see the arrow flying through the air. Real South hunting, how we were raised. Real South hunting, giving God the praise. Real South hunting, wouldn't we do best? Real South hunting, sticks and strings. Real South hunting, it's a southern thing. Real South hunting, come and join the chase. 'Cause it's pins and furs and feathers, real South wind. Live lolly pines and hardwood boxes. Us Mississippi boys was raised up to hunt 'em for my uncles and dads and granddads growing up. Remember my first buck seemed like a tough chore, 'cause a fair chase hunt you never promised to score. But when that Boone and Crockett walks out, we lay him on down. I can still see the arrow flying through the air. Real South hunting, how we were raised. Real South hunting, giving God the praise. Real South hunting, wouldn't we do best? Real South hunting, sticks and strings. Real South hunting, it's a southern thing. Real South hunting, come and join the chase. 'Cause it's pins and furs and feathers, real South wind. 'Cause it's pins and furs and feathers, real South wind.
Hope y'all had a good time watching these kids as we did hunting with them. Always a blast to go on that youth hunt, and it kicks off deer season for us. Hope y'all enjoyed it.